vaginal deliveries, you're looking at keeping the inflammation down. One way to do that is to create a muscle pump. So a muscle pump's when you use your muscles to contract and relax, and that brings in new healthy blood cells. So for a vaginal delivery, what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna tuck your tailbone towards the butt line, do a Kegel, relax, do a Kegel, relax, Kegel, relax. The other thing that you can do too is an abdominal contraction, and again, that's just bringing blood into this area. So thinking about the two sides of the hip bones coming in and up, and multiple times, on and off, on and off, on and off with the muscle. A great idea to prep for a vaginal delivery would be to take witch hazel. What you're gonna do is take this and put it all over the pad here. This helps healing after, and some vitamin E, and then again, you're gonna put that on the pad, and then I'm just gonna put them in a little plastic bag. I'm gonna make a bunch of them, so I'm gonna lay them flat in the freezer like this, but I'll seal the bag, and then I'll make a stack of these guys for once I get home with my baby, and just put them all in the freezer stacked up. That way, right after, this helps a little bit because you're like basically essentially icing the vagina, plus you have these other awesome ingredients on there that help healing. So after a vaginal delivery, one of the things that you want to do is just keep this area clean. And the way to do that is using a peri bottle and warm water. So when you're using the peri bottle, you're not just squirting it on, but what you want to do is spread your own labia. So you're going to take your two fingers on the top, spread this apart. You're going to rinse from front to back using the peri bottle, and then you're trying to get everything out clean. The other thing that you're going to want to do is change your pad often. I know when you have a little one at home, that's like the last thing that happens sometimes, but changing your pad and keeping everything fresh and clean is a great way for healing. After a while, you can use something called a sitz bath that goes on the top of your toilet. You just can put some water in there. We'll link some other stuff that you just throw in the sitz bath, and then you sit and soak, or in a tub, just putting your bottom in the tub, soaking in the water. Keeping this area clean is pivotal. So whether you have a C-section or a vaginal delivery, pooping after birth can be really scary. So we want to decrease the impact that our pelvic floor takes, because it just took a beating, especially if you had a vaginal birth. So what you can do is you can splint the tissue. So I can take toilet paper, wrap it around my finger so that you're not worried about getting any poop skis on here. And then what I'm doing with the toilet paper is I'm holding the tissue in front of the rectum. The rectum's pretty far back, so there's a lot of stuff to hold onto in the front. So when I sit down, I just take this and I'm pulling upward on the tissue and just giving it a little splint or a little assistance as you defecate. Okay, so usually when we get tears or have episiotomies, what happens is the tear often goes towards the back, so towards the rectum. So when we start doing scar tissue mobilization, we can start indirectly by starting off the scar. The ways that we can do this is we can lay on our side and we can lift up this top butt cheek. So it looks like this. I'm just on my side, and then I'm just gonna lift up my top butt cheek here, or lift it from the side here. I'm just starting to create some movement in the tissue where there's not movement. I also can take my fingers, and so I'm going, here's the rectum, and then I'm going just right in front of the rectum, and I'm gonna start to massage the tissue that butts up against the side of my ischial tuberosity, or my butt bone there. So I'm gonna massage on the sides here, on the bottom. Usually it's better the side that you're massaging being the unloaded side, so the side that's up off the ground. Then after you start to get that moving, what you're gonna do is you're gonna insert your finger into the vagina wall. So scars come in multiple different forms. Some of them are shallow and short, some of them are shallow and long, and then some of them, usually these are the ones that are more problematic, are actually deep. So again, just like a C-section, what you see on the surface is likely only 10% of the scar. Sometimes the scar starts to go deep down into the actual pelvic cavity. So when that happens, I'm gonna insert my finger. I can use coconut oil, and I'm just taking my finger and I'm pushing down and back, and I'm gonna hold that here. So if you're in a bathtub, all I'm gonna do is insert my thumb. I'm gonna push straight down and back. I'm gonna push towards 3 o'clock, and then work 3 to 6. 3 to 6 that side, and then I'm gonna again go all the way to 9, and then I'm gonna push down and back, and I'll push and hold, push and hold. The other thing that I can do is use this little finger, rah, rah, rah. So then you're gonna insert your thumb, and then I'm gonna be with this finger from the outside, just massaging it. I can pull it and twist like this, pull it and twist like that, but you're getting the tissue to lay flat again. This is especially important if you start to notice some symptoms like pain during intercourse, the tampon doesn't stay in correctly, it like keeps falling out, you can't activate your pelvic floor. If you're like, dude, I used to be able to like use those muscles and I have no muscle strength there. Any problems with urinary leakage or rectal stuff, seeing a PT, they can tell you exactly what's wrong, but that's a great way to do it at home yourself.